In this video, we're going to look at surface areas, and it's really surface areas of revolution. So if we take a function like the edge of this nice looking surface here, and we rotate it all the way around the x-axis, we get this 3D solid. And you've seen in volumes of revolution how to compute the volume. We're going to look at how to work out the surface area now. So let's think about how we do that. So suppose I had some surface area and I wanted to increase it by this little strip here. How am I going to do that? Well, I've got some area so far, which is all of this. Let's call that A. And then I'm going to increase that area. So I want to effectively know what dA is. What is the change in area? And so I need to work out what the area of this strip is. Now, assuming that I've made a very, very small increase in x, which gets me from here to here, let's call that dx, that will result in a very, very small change in y. And if I'm close enough zoomed in, this is going to be effectively a straight line. Now, the total area of this strip is going to be the length here multiplied by the length all the way around, which is just the circumference of a big circle. So the radius of that circle is just whatever the y value is at that point. And I can mark it at this point here, but of course, you say, why don't we mark it at this point? Well, if dx and dy are so close to being infinitesimally small, it doesn't actually really make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. So what have we got? We've got this length multiplied by the entire journey around the circle. So what is that? The change in area is this length here, which is the hypotenuse of the triangle, which is the square root of dx squared plus dy squared, multiplied by the full journey around the circle, which is 2 pi r. So that's 2 times pi times whatever the radius is, which is y. Okay, we're nearly there. If I want to know, therefore, what dA by dx is, well, I can just divide this through by dx. And let's do the same thing we did with arc lengths, and we'll divide the inside of the square root by dx squared. And the result is we get 1 plus dy by dx, that's the same as our arc length formula, but then multiplied by 2 pi y. So now integrating both sides with respect to x, I get a equals the integral of, well, let's pull the constant 2 pi out the front, and that can be the integral of y multiplied by 1 plus dy by dx squared dx. And so there's my surface area formula, and we just evaluate this between the upper and lower bounds. So you can see it's very similar to the arc length formula. It's basically just arc length formula times 2 pi r, where your radius is the y value. Clever, right? So let's apply this then to a problem. So y equals a third root x times 3 minus x. Find the surface area when the function above is rotated 360 degrees about the x-axis between x equals 0 and 3. So here's that shape. Looks really nice, I think. So we need dy by dx. So I think I'll expand this first. So 3 times the third cancels, and I get x to the half. And minus, well, x times x is x to the 3 over 2. So a third x to the 3 over 2. dy by dx then is a half x to the power of minus a half. Now power comes down, we get a half, so that's minus a half x to the half. Now we want 1 plus dy by dx squared. So 1 plus dy by dx all squared is 1. Okay, now this squared, so it's this first term squared, which is a quarter x to the minus 1. Then it's this times this twice, so that's going to give us minus a half minus a half. X to the minus half times x to the half just cancel to 1. And then finally, plus a quarter x to the 1. Look, we've got something very similar to what happened in the surface in the arc length question, where this factorizes nicely because it's this thing squared. And when I now add 1, the minus a half just becomes plus a half, and we're going to be able to factorize this. So all that's changed is the central half has gone positive, which means that this is half x to the minus a half plus a half x to the half squared. And that's good because I need to square root it. So our area is the integral, well, it's 2 pi times the integral of y, which is that original function up there, which is x to the half minus a third x to the 3 over 2, multiplied by the square root of 1 plus dy by dx squared. The square root of this, that power just goes, and I'm left with half x to the minus a half plus a half x to the half. Okay, that looks a bit rough, but I think we can just expand that, and I think it'll be quite easy actually. So x to the half times half x to the minus half is just a half. X to the half times half x to the half is half x. Now this one times this one is minus 1/6. Add the powers and I just get x. And this times this, we get minus 1/6. Add the powers and we get x squared. So nice polynomial there, no problem at all. Now we can actually do the integration. So 2 pi, integral of a half is half x. What have I actually got here? I've got half x minus a sixth x. That's a third x. Integrate a third x, and it's 1/6 x squared. So a sixth x squared. Then I've got a sixth x squared. Power goes up to 3 divided by 3. It's minus 1/18 x cubed. And I just need to sub in 3 and 0. Subbing in 3, what do we get? Half of 3 plus a sixth of 9, and then minus 27 divided by 18. So subbing in 3, I get 3 over 2. And then subbing in 0, I just get 0. So when all is said and done, I think our surface area is 3 pi. Nice to get such pretty results despite having such tricky functions. Okay, let's try another one here. A curve has equation 1 over 2x plus x cubed over 6. It's rotated 2 pi radians about the x-axis between 1 and 3. Find the surface area of the solid formed. Okay, so we know what to do now, and definitely pause the video and try this one for yourself. If you need a reminder, it's 2 pi times the integral of y times the square root of 1 plus dy by dx squared. So definitely do have a crack at this yourself. So dy by dx, I've got half x to the minus 1, giving me minus a half x to the minus 2, plus 3x squared over 6, so that's x squared, half x squared. Okay, bit of a classic form now. We've seen this a few times where you have basically the same thing but with negative powers. This has a nice property when you do 1 plus that squared. So 1 plus dy by dx all squared. 1. Now, squaring this, we get plus a quarter x to the minus 4. Then these two multiplied is minus, and then two of them, a half, just a half. And then finally plus a quarter x to the 4. Similar to the last question, that gives us a quarter x to the minus 4 plus a half plus a quarter x to the 4. And this factorizes, it's just half x to the minus 2 plus half x squared, all squared. So we can now go straight for our integration, because it's 2 pi times the integral of y, which was half x to the minus 1 plus 1/6 x cubed times by the square root of this. Now, it looks like a mess, but it's all just powers of x. So you could have done this years ago, I'm sure. What do we get then? 2 pi times the integral of, well, let's expand this. So that's 1/4 and the powers x to the minus 3. This times this, that's plus 1/4. Add the powers and it's x to the power of 1. Here we get plus 1/12, add the powers, and that's just x. This one and this one, that's 1/12. Add the powers, we get x to the 5. Now I can actually do the integration. 2 pi times. Power goes up to minus 2, divide by the minus 2, so that's minus 1/8 x to the minus 2. Now in total I had 1/4 plus 1/12. So 1/4 plus 1/12 is 1/3. So 1/3 x goes to 1/6 x squared. And here power goes up to 6, divide by the 6, that's 1/72 x to the 6. My limits were 1 and 3. So time to sub in, and we get 3 to the power of minus 2 times minus 1/8 plus 9/6 plus 3 to the 6, whatever that is, divided by 72. Okay, so that gets me 209/18. Then I'm subbing in 1. So minus 1/8 plus 1/6 plus 1/72 is 1/18. So in total, 209/18 minus 1/18 is 104/9. Times that by 2. And we get 208/9. And so our final answer is 208 pi over 9. And we're done. All right, so that's surface areas of revolution. Hope you enjoyed that. Stick around in the next video and we'll prove a result about circles just for fun. So see you there.